Morning, everyone. I'm Dan Spot on behalf of the Dalles Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Dalles Area Community Affairs. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, if I'm reading my calendar correctly. And our guest this morning is Trish Neal, who's going to be talking about all things related to legal affairs and business. So Trish has a presentation, but before we start, I'm going to go around the room and ask people to introduce themselves and provide any updates on organizations for the good of the order. So let's see what's going on around the community. I'm going to start with Commissioner Phil Brady. Phil, you are muted, sir. Still muted.
I was on another screen.
There you go.
No, it's not the 23rd. Today is the October 16th.
Oh my goodness. See, I'm mixed up already. October
Yes.
16th. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that.
And I knew that because I'm looking forward to October 20th. On the evening of October 20th, going into the morning on the 21st, is the Orionid meteor shower. We're going to be passing through the part of the solar system where the dust of Halley's Comet leaves little specks of dust, about grains of sand. They hit our atmosphere, glow. It'll be a pretty sight. And I mentioned this down in Antelope. One of the residents has rebuilt the RV park and brought in 10 shelters from the old Rajneeshis and is marketing that as dark sky. On the 20th, she's booked solid. So it's happening. So in terms of county business, nothing pops into my head right offhand. If I think of something, I might throw it back.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. So I'm gone for 2 weeks on vacation and obviously totally scattered. I'm lucky to know it's still 2025. I hope that's right anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil. Roger Nichols.
Thank you much. Roving reporter covering all sorts of things for all sorts of publications and broadcasters. I just want to share something from yesterday, actually from Tuesday, from the Klickitat County Commission meeting and what's going on at the airport. And I have to say, Jeff Renard's doing an awesome job. He announced that he had worked a deal with King County Airport to get $250,000 worth of equipment for $8,000. And the thing that really brought it home to me is it's a 24-foot wide snowplow and a 22-foot wide broom. It has a 200-mile-an-hour blower on it that can get stuff off the runway quick. And he says what it means is, in the past, it's taken us most of a day to clear the runway after snow. He says we can have a runway and a taxiway in 20 minutes for life flight. And that is a game changer.
That is wonderful news. And he is indeed a dynamo out there. That's great to know, Roger. Thank you. Good, good. We should have him on board to talk about the airport one of these days.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on out there. How about Corliss Marsh?
Good morning, everyone. Just got back from vacation too. So I'm a community volunteer, and today I'm going to go to the College Foundation Scholarship Luncheon. I just want to tell all of you how fantastic that we have a college here in town, and that we need to support our students, and they're always looking for scholarship money.
Thank you, Corliss. And everyone feel free to put contact information and events like that in the chat box too. We'll keep an eye on that one. Jacob Anderson.
Good morning, Jacob Anderson, Economic Development Officer for the City of the Dalles, and I can't say enough about what is happening out at the airport with the phase 2 of the business park, the college hangar. I was just in Burns, Oregon, and I saw one of those sweepers that Jeff picked up, and he was trying to sell it to me for $88,000. So Jeff did a great job of trying to save as much possible money for the airport. And we also have the new T hangar bid came in for 20 new T hangars to be built that we have in Oregon Corps grant, and that bid came in on budget. So it looks like we're going to be moving forward with that. The city passed our resolution on Monday, and hopefully we're going to be moving forward on the finalizing design and construction of that 20 T hangars. So that's going to be a game changer out at the airport, on top of the other 18 T hangars that are being built by a private company. So a lot going on at the airport. The one update from the city I would give, or actually from the Urban Renewal Agency, is that we had a meeting with the Fermentation Hub about the Federal Street Plaza and the Tony's lot, and they will not be moving forward. So right now, the Tony's lot, we're finalizing the agreement with the city, and that's going to be the laydown yard for the Federal Street Plaza for the next year or so.
Indeed. That's a good use for that as we go through Federal Street Plaza and also First Street. Unfortunate news about fermentation, Jacob, but who knows what else might come about there. Thank you for that.
Well, the longer we wait, the more valuable it's going to get, because when a plaza is sitting next to it, that land's going to be far more valuable than it is currently.
Indeed it will. Indeed it will. All right. Thank you. Good to know. Dave Peters.
Good morning, everybody. Dave Peters, Columbia Cascade Housing and Columbia Housing Authority. No big changes other than we are, going vertical now on the project in Hood River. I think we're going to start in the spring or early summer on the project here in the Dalles. So things are moving forward. Thanks.
That's the Chenoweth Loop project in the Dalles?
Correct. Yeah, 76 apartments, I believe, right where DeHart's Market used to be, or still is, I guess now, but it's going to be torn down.
Yep. Good use for that property. It's a larger property than the building itself. Good to know.
Yeah. Kenny used to have a horse that went around the back and stuff. So they're using the whole lot.
Thank you, Dave. How about Julie Reynolds?
I'm Julie Reynolds, community volunteer. My two main activities are on the commission of the Fort Dalles Museum. Things are going well there. Cruise ships are almost finished for the season, so that may affect our attendance. And St. Paul's Episcopal Historic Chapel. We've been giving tours there all summer on Saturdays following or during the farmers market. And people have been walking by and saying, I've lived here all my life, but I've never been in this building, and I've always wondered what it was like. So we've shown lots of people the beauty of this historic building that we're working hard to keep functional. And I'll be talking about that next week on Community Affairs.
Julie, that was my question. I know there'd been some email traffic on trying to set that up. So good. We have that on confirmed now. Excellent.
Thanks.
I'll be hosting that one. I'll try to get the date right. It's the 23rd. Thank you, Julie. Mr. Mike Wacker.
Good morning, everyone. I'm on the board with Julie actually at Fort Dalles Museum. And I'd just like to say Julie is also a volunteer that spends a lot of time doing research. And anyhow, that could be a topic in itself, Julie, if you want to speak again. Also, I'm on the Dalles Kiwanis Club, and we're starting to do our Christmas stuff. Something new this year is, in years past, when they had the big sale at the Civic, we were giving sleigh rides. I'm sure you're all probably familiar with the Santa sleigh. That's the one in the parade where the last thing when Santa Claus is ho-ho-hoing down the street. Well, we're going to hook up with the Catholic Church with St. Peter's this year during their seasonal sale. And hopefully we'll get a lot of kids and adults on the sleigh. So it's always fun. Actually, Wally Wolf is the guy that pulls it with his pickup, and it's just fun hanging with Wally too.
That's great to know, Mike. We remember those. It's good to see him coming back. Thank you. How about Scott McKay?
Good morning, everyone. Scott McKay. I am a volunteer for Circles of Care. We are in transition, looking for a person to replace, to take over my position to be a community liaison for Circles of Care. But it's also good to see Julie. Haven't seen Julie for a while, and you reminded me that next week on October 22nd and 23rd at the St. Paul's Episcopal Church, there is a dementia virtual tour where you can schedule. It takes about an hour. You can schedule time and to find out to experience what it's like to have dementia. And many times, maybe most people think dementia is just memory loss, but it also affects your, can affect your balance, your vision, touch, your feelings. And so this gives you an experience of what it's like to have dementia. So I will put, when I find the contact, I will put that in the chat so you can make an appointment. But we know that the Dalles is not a RSVP type of town. So there will be spots available if you just show up. And it's from 9 to 12 and 1 to 4 at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. Next, the 22nd and the 23rd, which I think is Thursday and Friday.
22nd is
No,
Wednesday.
that'd be Wednesday. If the 23rd is next Thursday, it must be a Wednesday and Thursday. So anyway, so
Yep,
just
22nd and 23rd.
I believe so.
Scott, that's up at the church at 1805 Minnesota, right? Not at the chapel.
Yeah. And they were
Let's go
gracious
ahead.
enough to provide the space.
Great. Scott, if you wouldn't mind, or Julie, go ahead and put that in the chat box too, so we've got that event information nailed down.
I will do that.
Thank you, sir. We have Jean Salser. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jen Salser. And Jen, feel free to chime in later if you'd like to introduce yourself. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our guest this morning, Trish Neal. And Trish, you are co-host. I believe you have some slides for us, but if you'd like to go ahead and get started, we'll turn it over to you. That's showing up now. And Trish, you are muted. You are muted.
Thanks, that's one important.
There we go.
So, okay. So, thank you so much for the introduction. It's nice to see some friendly faces. Missed you guys, and some new faces. So a little about my background is when I lived in the Dalles, I was a member of Kiwanis Club. I served as the chair of the Museum Commission, which oversees Fort Dalles Museum and Anderson Homestead. And it's nice to see that Julie and Mike is on that commission. While I was there, I worked with Cal and a few other volunteers when he first became the director as we revamped the Museum Commission. I continue to be involved with the original Wasco County Courthouse, managing both their Facebook page and website. And I served on the Civic Auditorium Board of Directors and was managing the building with Sherry Monroe before relocating back to Alaska to open up LegalShield here in February 2017. And of course, I'm still a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So a little about that, and I appreciate the opportunity to present to you today. I found LegalShield nearly 18 years ago. Just 6 months after I had dealt with my mother's estate after her passing. And at that time, I was stressed, I was overwhelmed, and I reached out to her attorney, fully prepared to pay his hourly fee. And he, I'm trying to get rid of this, whoops. Okay, so that's not working either. Okay, sorry about that. But he got frustrated because he didn't have her power of attorney or health directive. And I just thought, wait a minute, it's not rocket science here. And so rather than argue with him, I hung up, and I was too intimidated to call anybody else for fear I would get the same thing. So I ended up downloading the state statutes on estates. Thankfully, I found that her estate qualified as a small estate, filed that with the court, and I was preparing to sell her house, but hadn't gotten the certificate from the court yet. So I was still stressing because I had people telling me it's going to take you 2 years to get through all this. And I said, no, I can't do that. And so when I called, I asked, so what's the next step? Because I was fully prepared that I was going to have to go through probate. She says, oh, we just filed it in the file cabinet. So I was greatly relieved, and I could finally relax and stop stressing. But 6 months later, I found out about LegalShield, and um, I looked at that, and it became very clear to me that had I had this to begin with, I could have called the law firm. They would have answered my questions. They would have reviewed all the documents that I filed before I filed them, and without paying an hourly fee. And so I have never looked back. It has been great to be a member of that. I will let you know that I'm not an attorney, so I can't answer specific legal questions or provide legal advice. My intention this morning is just simply to share some of the legal issues that you may face as a business. So before we get started, why aren't I? Okay. I'd like to share a little bit about our company. We offer a huge portfolio of services designed to support individuals and families with the LegalShield and ID Shield. And in addition to our standard plans, we offer supplements for tailored for gun owners, delivery drivers, and truck drivers for those specific needs. And of course, we offer business owners legal plans that were created to fit your business's distinct circumstances, whether you work from home or maintain a brick and mortar location. And we also offer our ID Shield and Legal Shield as a employee group benefit. It's discounted from the regular price, and it's typically a payroll deduction. But if you'd like to pay part or all of it, we can make that happen too. So if you're interested in learning more, I would be happy to talk to you about that. So our company was established in 1972. We're over 50 years old. It was Harlan Stonecipher was the founder in 1969. He had been involved in a serious accident, and his car was totaled. He ended up in the hospital, and the other driver who was at fault sued him. And he was a teacher at that time and taught during the day and sold insurance at night. And he almost went bankrupt protecting himself in court. And so he got the idea that there must be something better, and that's what he came up with in '72. We are protecting and empowering over almost 5 million lives in the U.S. and 5 Canadian provinces. We've been in Canada for 25 years. And our vision is to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves.
Trish,
Yes.
I'm going to break in just briefly, and I should have asked this before. Are you okay taking questions during the presentation, or would you like to wait?
No, I'm fine. I timed this for 30 minutes, so, and Emmy said I have 45, so
Okay.
yeah.
So we do have a question from Commissioner Brady.
Okay.
Hello, Trish. Thank you. As you were going through the list of who's available, I thought, is it also available for 501c3 groups?
No, unfortunately, it isn't. We
Okay.
keep hoping. You have no idea how many associates keep asking corporate, when are you going to do for nonprofits? But that's a whole new, different ball game.
So okay, we'll keep poking them. Thanks.
Yes, I will. Thank you. So you've probably seen us on Forbes, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, and a lot of other places that we are some of the best legal plans and ID Shield plans around. So a recent study conducted by LegalShield of 299 small business owners and managers was done earlier this year. And the participants ranged in age from 25 to 80 years old. And the findings highlighted a significant issue. Legal pitfalls continue to affect the financial health of small business owners. And despite these risks, the majority of respondents reported that they do not seek professional legal counsel when facing business-related legal matters. And this reluctance underscores the importance of accessible legal support and the potential consequences of navigating legal challenges without expert guidance. So most small business owners only turn to attorneys when they're already facing litigation, and that's the wrong approach. Using a health analogy, it's like not taking care of yourself and ignoring aches and pains until you need an expensive operation. So every hour that a small business owner spends dealing with legal issues is an hour they're not serving customers, selling product, or growing their business, not to mention the stress that they're dealing with. They often believe legal help is too complicated and expensive, but LegalShield offers the support and the accessibility for all at an affordable price. So the business structure is quite important when you're first starting out, or even if you're an existing business. One major concern is selecting the appropriate business structure. Choosing the wrong structure, such as operating as a sole proprietorship, can result in personal assets being vulnerable to business debts and lawsuits. And it's never too late to talk to an attorney to make sure that you do have the right business structure. If you're a partnership, you might actually be better off as a limited liability company, but an attorney can advise you on and explain to you what is involved in all this. With a sole proprietorship, you're actually exposed for your personal assets as well as your business. So contracts are the lifeblood of a small business. Even a single misplaced word or an errant comma can dramatically alter your rights and obligations from what you originally intended. And if mistakes occur, it's possible that your contract may not be enforceable when you need to take action. So to prevent costly errors, it's crucial to have an attorney review contracts and legal documents first. I have a small business owner member who encountered an issue with a contractor that she hired to do some work, and she was asked to pay 50% up front, which she was glad to do. And at the end of the job, she was billed out, and as she was going through everything, she realized that they had not done what she expected them to do, and they refused to do any further without payment. Fortunately, our law provider firm was able to intervene on behalf of her, and was able to get a sizable a refund from the contractor, which then allowed her to hire a different contractor who successfully finished the job as originally requested. Just having that legal plan saved my business owner member money. Otherwise, she would have had to pay out another contractor. Employment law and small businesses play a significant role in shaping how small businesses operate. Failure to properly classify employees, adhere to wage and hour laws, or handle termination appropriately can expose a business to serious consequences. These missteps may lead to costly penalties and legal disputes. An attorney can provide guidance on the appropriate steps and documentation needed to support employment decisions, helping business owners avoid lengthy and complicated termination processes. And having an employee handbook or even an employment contract can help document that your employee was aware of employment criteria. It can be important when disputing unemployment claims. And reaching for that phone with the LegalShield plan is much less than being afraid to pick that phone up, because you're going to have to pay by the hour. Navigating complex tax laws and regulatory requirements is a crucial responsibility for small business owners. Keeping accurate and organized business records is important. Navigating complex tax laws and other regulations can result in penalties if not handled correctly. And that's why having an entire law firm on speed dial is very helpful to you. Failing to protect sensitive data and maintain robust cybersecurity measures can expose business to major liabilities. And the consequences of a data breach may include financial losses, reputational damage, and legal action. Now, each state has its own requirements regarding data breach response. And for example, Oregon and Washington, since you probably have customers on both sides of the river, each have their own statutes, and they outline the necessary steps for notification and remediation, requiring businesses to act promptly and transparently to address the breach and informal affected parties. Maintaining personal information for employees, vendors, and customers is a critical responsibility for any business, and it's essential to ensure that this sensitive information is properly safeguarded to prevent unauthorized access or misuse. You do need to protect that data and make sure that you and only a few employees actually have access to that. So this is another reason that, and as you probably know, cybersecurity is a serious issue anymore. So it's important to regularly review and update policies and procedures to ensure compliance and mitigate risk. Things are changing all the time. Are you checking in on what's been updated, what's changed? Do you review the updates you receive? Do you keep them on file? And if you don't understand new regs or legislations, who do you call? Small business owners must be aware of the different types of liability risks that can arise in the course of operations. And one significant area is premises liability, which involves injuries that occur on your business property. If a customer, vendor, or other visitor is injured while on your premises, your business may be held responsible for damages. If an employee is injured on the job, your business could be subject to an inspection by the Occupational Safety Health Administration, or OSHA. OSHA visits are conducted to assess workplace safety practices and compliance with federal regulations, and such inspections may review your company's safety protocol, your training records, and the circumstances surrounding the incident. So ensuring that your workplace adheres to all relevant safety standards can help minimize the risk of violations and penalties. And you can actually invite OSHA to come in and check out your premises to make sure that you're in compliance. And those are normally a free service that they provide. Another important aspect is product or service liability, and this refers to injuries or harm caused by defective products or services provided by your business. And such incidents can result in legal claims and have serious financial reputational consequences. So that's why LegalShield is such a great benefit to you, the business owner. You have access to an entire law firm, and there's no need to search the web or ask for referrals. You have the entire law firm on speed dial. Your intellectual property is very important, whether it's trademarks, copyrights, patents, trade secrets. Did you write a booklet that you're selling? Failure to protect trademarks, copyrights, patents, etc., can result in competitors copying your ideas or branding. This not only diminishes your competitive advantage, but can also lead to financial losses and damage to your business's reputation. So taking proactive steps to secure your intellectual property is essential for maintaining control over your assets and ensuring the continued success of your business. Debt collection is another. If you offer credit, it's critical to have a signed contract in place before granting any credit terms. This contract not only formalizes the agreement, but also protects your business by establishing clear obligations for both parties. And it's essential to have a solid understanding of commercial debt collection laws that apply to your business. Knowing what actions are permitted and which practices are prohibited will help you remain compliant and avoid potential legal issues. So one of the things that LegalShield provides businesses is monthly debt collection letters as part of their service plan, which can help streamline the process and ensure a professional approach to recovering your outstanding payments. Believe me, a letter on the law firm's letterhead will make more of an impression than another invoice stamp past due. Time spent pursuing overdue payments is time taken away from running and growing your business. So what is your time worth? So this is your business exposed to all the vulnerabilities that a business owner may face when operating without assistance of legal counsel. Without professional guidance, your business can be exposed to a range of legal issues that may threaten its stability and success. Navigating complex regulations, protecting intellectual property, and managing debt collection processes becomes significantly more challenging without expert support. At LegalShield, a LegalShield business plan offers comprehensive protection for your business by providing access to professional legal guidance. And with this support, business owners can proactively address and avoid exposure to a variety of legal challenges. So LegalShield's services are designed to help you navigate all of these legal issues. So, and we treat our members as VIP and consider this your best investment in your business that you can make. And the other thought is, why pay by the hour? So most businesses obtain legal advice in different ways. Some owners attempt to resolve legal questions on their own by relying on personal logic. And I can assure you that when you think it's logical that's a correct answer, it's not going to be. I've been privy to that. Or searching for answers online. And Google should never be your doctor, and Google should never be your attorney. While this approach may seem convenient, it can lead to misunderstanding or incomplete information. The other is they reach out to friends or acquaintances who practice law, seeking informal advice, kind of like the doctor that you're friends with. Although this can offer some insights, it may lack the depth and specificity required for business-related legal matters. They also may not be licensed in another state, which could be a problem if they don't know state law or are licensed in that state. Some business owners use social media platforms such as Facebook to crowdsource advice from their networks. This strategy might generate quick response, but the accuracy and reliability of the advice can be questionable. And then finally, for more formal assistance, some choose to hire an attorney and pay expensive hourly fees. And while this ensures professional guidance, the cost can be prohibitive, especially for small business, which means the owner is less likely to pick up that phone because of the $300 or more an hour fee. And LegalShield helps level the playing field for all business owners. So by joining our collective buying power to access affordable and comprehensive legal services for your business, PPLSI group purchasing model, business owners can benefit from professional legal guidance at a fraction of traditional cost. A percentage of every membership is paid to the law provider firm. So this approach makes expert support more accessible, enabling you to proactively address legal challenges and protect your business interests without the financial burden of high hourly rates. So we have a three level small business plan. The essentials is your basic. We offer, you can actually have more than yourself with authorization to talk to the law firm. You want to be careful about that. Our basic is in-state matters only. The others provide in case you have, since you're so close to Washington State, if you have an issue that it needs to be referred there, you would be able to do that with the Plus and the Pro plan. Letters and phone calls. Believe me, it works. I had an issue with eBay. They wanted to charge me $15 for a service that they didn't provide. And after 4 or 5 times of going around and around with them and getting nowhere, I called the law firm, provided them with all of the documentation from my bank, emails, etc. They wrote the letter. I approved it. They sent it. And about 2 weeks later, eBay wrote it off. So it may have only been $15. And of course, I could have paid it, but why should I? Because I'm paying for a law firm to do that for me. Document and contract review. This is where if you're designing your own contracts, you might want to have them reviewed. Before you sign anything, you want to have an attorney review it. One of our members had their loan for a new car reviewed, and the attorney said, well, it looks fine, but tell the dealer that you don't need this $600 item, which ended up being a glorified car wash. So sometimes the fine print is what really hurts you. Collection letters, like I said, up to 5 per month. If you need more than that, it would be a discount, or you may consider the higher level plans. We do offer assistance with employee handbook, and I can't stress enough having an employee handbook. It doesn't have to be a huge document, or just simply some kind of an agreement where you outline what you expect from the employee and they sign off on it. They do also do custom contract drafting. And then IRS audits, you never want to talk to an IRS agent without the attorney sitting there. And so this is very important if you happen to be invited to an interview. So one thing I did not print off, you've got handouts, and I'll put the link to the Dropbox, is a home business add-on. This is added on to the standard LegalShield plan. It's for businesses who either work from home or do not have any employees. If you work from home, you can't have, your employees can only be immediate family members, cannot be John Q. Smith down the street. Pretty much the same thing, not as heavy as much that the other plans do. We do offer different things like e-signatures, which can be helpful too. But I did put that in the Dropbox, so you can look at that if that might work better for you. These are our individual family legal plans. You can do this as your personally, in addition to your business. The supplements we have are home business, ride share delivery, like if you're Instacart or DoorDash or Uber. If you own guns and you're going to be leaving those in your will, you definitely want to have that plan. And another issue could be if you have to use your gun to protect yourself, you definitely want an attorney on that other line as soon as that happens. Trial defense and business plan. We do your will, your living will, healthcare, power of attorney, financial power of attorney as part of your membership. Tax audit assistance, 24/7 emergency protection. If you're being detained or about to be arrested, your children are being threatened to take away, you call the 24/7 line. Actually, our phone app has a bright red button at the bottom where you can press that, and it goes to a call center. And if they determine that it is an emergency, you're going to be connected to the attorney who's on call that night.
Trish,
Yes.
may I break in just to clarify on this one? You have to have a business in order to participate in these individual family?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
These are for individuals and families. You don't have to have a business. You could be, Julie or Roger could sign up for it. We offer these are the same things that we offer as a group benefit rate at discounted rate. So if you have employees and you want to help them with this, that we can set that up. It's really easy. We make it real easy for you to do that. We also have family domestic services. There is a 90 consecutive days effective date before you can do that. But they do great for divorce, adoption, separation, name change. I've got one associate who actually had assistance with obtaining his citizenship. So we do great things. Our ID Shield plans are the best around. I've watched over the years, and we keep adding more things. basic monitoring of your social security number, driver's license, medical ID. If your medical information is compromised because somebody has hacked it, you have no right to your medical information anymore. It's a nightmare. And so then we've got, online privacy, social media, reputation score, and management. I periodically get a message from LegalShield because I posted something on Facebook that they felt that probably wasn't right. And I do look at that, but I know that I'm really careful. We provide full service restoration. We do whatever it takes, work as long as it takes. If it takes 2 years, it takes 2 years. You're not going to pay any more than your membership fee. And we restore your identity to its pre-theft status. And again, this is available at a group discount. One thing I want to tell you is that for government employees, I have a special public servant type plan too. That is a great benefit too. So if you're interested in that, I can certainly happy to talk to you about that. So we also offer member perks. As you can see, this lady used it and saved $4,000 off the dealership price. I mean, that's probably the best price I've ever seen. I saved $150 on a brand new iPad a few years ago. So these change all the time, but it's free. And you can actually access it from your phone app. So if you're out around shopping, you can plug it in there to see there's a group rate. I've used it for car rental, hotel, and stuff like that. So becoming a member is easy. You can, if you're interested in an individual plan or family plan, you can do it on my website. My contact information is there. If you want to talk about it even more, that's fine. But there's my website, and information on all of our plans is there. And I would ask that you add me to your contacts in your phone. Plug in legal services and then add my contact information. That way, if you decide later on that you'd like to talk more about this, you don't have to remember my name. You just plug in legal services. And the same if you hear somebody who's interested or needs legal services, you can show them that information, and I would really appreciate that. So thank you. I appreciate your time this morning. And let me I guess I will. Oh, I need to stop share. And I don't want to stop.
There'll be a button at the bottom of the screen saying stop share.
There we go.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. I'm dropping in the Dropbox the link to the Dropbox and my contact information. All the handouts that I had printed are in that Dropbox. I sent a packet of printed forms, so if you wanted to drop by the chamber office, they're there. I also sent some swag too. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, as long as I'm not asked for legal advice.
So Trish, I would have one going back to Phil's earlier question. Do you know of any comparable service for nonprofits?
No, I don't. You pretty much have to find an attorney who specializes in nonprofits. I have our organization up here belongs to a nonprofit that works with nonprofits, and one of those benefits is having an attorney who works with them, and so he discounts any advice, and I've used him. Believe me, I'm really happy that I don't have to pay full price. He just did recently just a quick answer for me for $40. I had a bigger issue with a former employee who actually I caught embezzling money from our organization. And that was frightening. And I think we paid less than $200 for his time to walk me through, to let me know what I needed to do, how to document everything, as far letting her, terminating her. That was a nightmare that I never want to go through again. And we're really fortunate it was only a few $1,000s because she had access to over 200,000. So point in mind, make sure that you have policies and procedures on how you handle money. So.
Of course, this presentation is recorded for the benefit of chamber members, business owners who would like to review that recording and find out more. So this is good information for chamber membership and the private sector, certainly, Trish. One question I would have, the fee, is this like are you committing to a year or 3 years or 5 years in membership?
No,
How does that work?
It's month to month. There's no strings, no contracts. You pay by the month, and if you decide you want to cancel, they don't, there's no questions asked. You just call corporate and say, I'd like to cancel the membership. But I've got members that I've had for over 10 years. So, and we, like I say, and group rates are really good. And for city and county employees, we have a special, what we call public servant. It's a streamline, and it's a ridiculous great price. But even so, I've got special discounts for large groups for city and county and state. So, which makes it actually less expensive than having the individual plan.
Thank you, Trish. And I noticed that thank you, Corliss, for information about nonprofits of Oregon.
Yeah.
So that would address that point. Questions around the table for Trish?
Trish, how many employees does the company have?
I just looked at that. I think something like 70,000 employees. I mean, not just in Ada, Oklahoma, we have around the country and in Canada too. So it's a large company.
Thank you.
Trish,
And I know, oh, go ahead, Julie.
Trish, how wide is your own network? What the people that you serve?
There's no territories, if that's what you mean. I can sell across the US. We have a few states, like Alaska is a licensed state. But there's only I think 5 states where you have to have a license, and Alaska and Massachusetts is the worst ones. I can also sell in Canada. I just choose not to do Canada because of the money exchange and taxes and all that. So if I have somebody who's interested in Canada, I have a couple of people that I contact, say, here you go. So yeah, there's no territories.
So Trish, my question, so on the individual plans, there's an understandable a delay of service for things like domestic issues. That makes a lot of sense. Does that also apply in the other above category, life events, things like tax assistance?
No. I can enroll you today. It would roll over. Before the end of the day. I'd have your membership number. I would send you an email with your membership number, instructions on how to call the law firm. You're always asking for legal advice, and you should be able to call the law firm the next day.
So is tax audits, does that interface with the IRS, or is that more just a legal audit?
Actually, I think it would be with whether it's IRS or if you've got an issue with the city or the county or the state. And I think that's why it's considered tax audit. But if you're getting a letter saying, we'd like to visit with you, you do not want to go without an attorney. I've heard some scare stories, and having an attorney sitting there allows you some to make sure that that agent is not asking you questions that they really shouldn't be.
To let you know what I'm thinking as county commissioner, I can see this as helpful advice that I can give to constituents when they're planning to interface with the county. So I'm, which sounds like I'm trying to fight against myself, but having a legal person on the other side of the table from the county helps the county get things done right.
Yeah. Well, and the great thing about having this for employees is that you're not having employees spend time on the job using a phone to deal with these things or taking the day off because they have to deal with this. Just the stress, of dealing with things like that, taking sick leave. It's really benefit to the employer too.
Trish, I think you had mentioned citizenship or immigration, perhaps. That's a hot topic. And I think if I'm, let's go there. I'm a Latino family, and ICE is knocking at the door. Are there any resources available?
You would have to have the LegalShield plan first. And it all depends on the circumstances. But definitely, we've got that 24/7 crisis line. If you're about to be detained or arrested or in an accident, you can press that button and it goes directly to a call center. And it doesn't, and I guarantee you it is 24/7 because the gal that signed me up, she called at 2 o'clock in the morning because she was being harassed. She accidentally ended up in Washington State, taking the wrong turn, and had undercover cops following her. And so she called LegalShield, and they got her to the law firm there in Portland. He actually stayed up until she got back into Portland to make sure that she didn't have any more issues. So it's a great thing. And I've called our provider law firm after my guy had an accident, and it was greatly I was really glad to be able to talk to somebody who would walk me through what needed to be done. So they're really great.
No, thank you. Coming up on the hour, do we have other questions for Trish? If not, always happy to give people back another 5-6 minutes of their day. So Trish, on behalf of the chamber, really appreciate the presentation this morning. And thank you all for joining in. Another good resource to know about.
Yeah. Nice to see friendly faces again.
All right. So with that, I think let's close it down. And again, thank you for joining Community Affairs this week. And Julie, look forward to seeing you next week.
I'm looking forward to being there. Thanks, Stan.
All righty. Everyone take care and enjoy the rest of your week and weekend.
You too.
Bye now.